Shalom, all praise the Yahweh Shemiel Shah, double line to the Apostle GMS. This is Amar Allah coming in the video. Continuing on with this Simeon and Levi and how they're divided. Continuing on with this lesson. So let's go to this next paragraph right here. That's what I ended up last time. By 1664, France created the first West Indian Company to signal their intention of permanently colonizing Saint Domingue. During that time, Spain was in decline as a world power and could barely withstand the English, Dutch, and French attacks on its colonies in the Caribbean. Let's look a little bit into that. This is from a website called study.com, Decline of Spain in the 17th Century. The decline of Spain. The Spanish Empire was the world's great superpower in the 15th and 16th century, with imperial conquest that saw the occupation of much of North and South America as well as the Philippines by Spanish colonizers. And that's one of the reasons why Spanish is such, a common language around the world. I believe it's the second most common language spoken around the world. The decline of Spain was precipitated by an overextension of military engagements, hyperinflation, and rebellions at home, as well as the infusion of American silver into the Spanish economy, devaluing the Spanish currency. Now remember that says 1664 on that site, right? On the first site we went to. Now here's like a time lapse of the Spanish Empire. The rise and fall of the Spanish Empire. I'm going to go about the first minute. Stop right there. Now you see where they're located in red, like at the center of your screen? And then the next part, what do you see? That small little island right there. That's Haiti and Dominican Republic. That's Hispaniola, Little Spain. So that's the first territory they conquered in the New World. Now I see it's 1585. Now you see they have the eastern region of South America, and it says Crown of Portugal, union with Spain, right? And then around the 1600s, when you go into about the mid 1600s, you're gonna see a lot of it just disappear. See, it's growing. Lost a little bit. Boom. Around about 1640, all that disappeared. Certain other parts grew as time went on, but eventually, as time goes on, it starts to dissipate. The Spanish Empire. Okay? So I stopped it right there, 1697. Let's go back. Here's Wikipedia. Spain in the 17th century. Habsburg Spain was... Go right to the point. Right here. From right here. In the coming decades, these difficulties grew and saw France gradually taking Spain's place as Europe's leading power through the later half of the century. Many different factors, including the decentralized political nature of Spain, inefficient taxation, a succession of weak kings, power struggles in the Spanish court, and the tendency to focus on the American colonies instead of Spain's domestic economy, all contributed to the decline of Habsburg rule in Spain. Let's go back. So it says, during that time, Spain was in decline as a world power and could barely withstand the English, Dutch, and French attacks on its colonies in the Caribbean. Therefore, by the Treaty of Ryswick in 1697, Spain abandoned the western part of Hispaniola to the French, who then established the colony of Saint Domingue illegally. The two rival colonies, Santo Domingo under the Spanish and Saint Domingue under the French, followed different paths that will greatly affect their future. Let's go to look at the Treaty of Ryswick. Let's look at the Treaty of Ryswick. Peace of Ryswick. Series of peace treaties signed in late 1697. The Peace of Ryswick or Ryswick was a series of treaties signed in the Dutch city of Ryswick between September 20th and 30th October 1697. They ended the 1688 to 1697 9 Years' War between France and the Grand Alliance, which included the Dutch Republic and the Holy Roman Empire. One of a series of wars fought by Louis XIV of France between 1666 and 1714. Neither side was able to make significant this stuff keep popping up. Don't worry about this stuff popping up. Neither side was able to make significant territorial gains. By 1695, the huge financial costs coupled with the widespread famine and economic dislocation meant both sides needed peace. Negotiations were delayed by the question of who would inherit the Spanish Empire from the childless and terminally ill Charles II of Spain, the closest heirs being Louis and Emperor Leopold I. Since Louis could not impede his preferred solution, he refused to discuss the issue, while Leopold refused to sign without its inclusion. He finally did so with great reluctance on 30th October 1697, but the peace was generally viewed as a truce. Charles' death in 1700 led to the War of the Spanish Succession. So we see the Treaty of Ryswick, right? It was a series of treaties that was signed from September 20th to the 30th of October in 1697. And there was a lot of widespread famine, economic dislocation, and both sides needed peace. So they signed the treaty. And that treaty led to France getting the western part of the island. Let's keep reading. About 100 years later, Spain ceded the eastern part of the island to France under the Treaty of Basel, 1795. Toussaint Louverture, the later author of the Haitian Revolution, was at that time fighting for the French, hoping to unify the island under French rule. Thus, in 1795, he declared that the island was one and indivisible. In 1801, after taking control of Saint Domingue in the Haitian Revolution, Toussaint invaded Santo Domingo to transform his words into action. In 1802, while battling the forces of Napoleon for the independence of Haiti, Toussaint, as part of his strategic plan, withdrew his soldiers from Santo Domingo after the capture of Toussaint by the French general Leclerc. Toussaint's successor, Dessalines, carried on the revolution and defeated the French, creating the state of Haiti. From the very day that Haiti became independent, January 1st, 1804, its leaders believed that in order for Haiti to remain independent, the entire island must be unified under Haitian rule. The French retained a small foothold on the eastern section of the island, and the Haitians feared that the French and other European colonial nations might invade from there. Henceforth, Haiti's policy towards Santo Domingo would be directed by this belief. The Haitian leadership wrote a clause in the first Haitian constitution that the island was indivisible. By 1805, Dessalines invaded the eastern part of the island and only pulled his forces back from capturing Santo Domingo when reports reached him that a French naval squadron was approaching Haiti. By 1808, the Haitians, in their ongoing struggle against the French, helped Spanish colonists who had returned to Santo Domingo to expel the French. Santo Domingo was then returned to Spanish rule. Under the Spanish, the colony plunged into economic decline. This period, known as Espaza Boba, foolish Spain, convinced the Dominicans to seek independence along the same lines as Simon Bolivar's Latin American state. On November 30th, 1821, Jose Nunez de Cáceres, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, hopefully Lord willing, announced the colony's independence under the name of Spanish Haiti, and sought to gain admission to the state of Gran Colombia created by Simon Bolivar. However, before the Dominican request could be ratified, the troops of the Haitian president Jean-Pierre Boyer invaded the new nation, unifying the island. So when Haiti became independent, January 1st, 1804, they thought that in order for Haiti to remain independent, the whole entire island had to come under Haitian rule. But remember, the Treaty of Basel, as you read in 1795, part of the island was under French rule. Okay? Spain ceded some of the island to be under French rule. Okay? But guess what? They still couldn't succeed in unifying the whole. Well, let me keep reading. Let me see. Right here it says by 1808, the Haitians in their ongoing struggle against the French helped Spanish colonists who had returned to Santo Domingo to expel the French. So they helped some of the Spanish colonists expel the French. Right? Now right here, 1822. Now it said under the president Jean-Pierre Boyer, it said the nation was unified. From 1822 to 1844, the Dominican Republic and Haiti were united. In 1844, the Dominicans took advantage of the fall of President Boy of Haiti and regained their independence. The rebellion was carried out by the Trinitarian movement, founded by Juan Pablo Duarte in 1838. The Haitians repeatedly tried to invade the new nation. The last attempt only ended in 1855. A boundary agreement was finally signed between the two nations in 1936, establishing the definitive border between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The final consequence of the European struggle for control in the Caribbean was the division of the island into two countries. So we see that Haiti had got their independence, and they wanted to unify the whole island in order for them to maintain independence. If not, they believed that, they understood that the French still had a foothold in certain parts of the Dominican Republic, and they thought that European nations would try to invade from there. So they said, we got to unify the whole island in order to prevent that. And they put a clause in their constitution stating that the island was indivisible, it was one. And Dessalines had invaded the Dominican Republic, but had withdrew his troops when he heard that a French naval squadron was approaching Haiti. And by 1808, they had struggled against the French, and they had helped Spanish colonies who had returned to Santo Domingo to expel the French, because remember, the Treaty of Basel in 1795, they gave some of the land over to the French in the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo, the eastern part of the island. They had gave part of the island over to the French. So they was helping those colonists get rid of the French that was on that island. And in November 30th, 1821, Jose Nunez de Cáceres announced the colony's independence under the name Spanish Haiti. So look, we're independent. We're going by the name Spanish Haiti now. And this is him, former president of the Republic of Spanish Haiti. Jose Nunez de Cáceres y Albor was a Dominican politician and writer. He is known for being the leader of the independence movement against Spain in 1821, and the only president of the short-lived Republic of Spanish Haiti, which existed from December 1st, 1821 to February 9th, 1822. Let's go back. Now, when I say Haiti and Dominican Republic was united for those 22 years, what I mean by that is that Haiti had basically what's the word I'm looking for? I can't scroll down. When I said that they were united, what I meant by that was Haiti had basically occupied that island. Not basically, Haiti had occupied that island for a 22-year time period from 1822 to 1844. After all, they were the first to get their independence. But I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to try to speed this thing up. So this is going into how, once again, them not being united. See if I can read a little more. The Dominican Republic and Haiti were united. In other words, Haiti had occupied that land. In 1844, the Dominicans took advantage of the fall of President Boyer of Haiti and regained their independence. Read the rest of this. Jump down. A boundary agreement was finally signed between the two nations in 1936, establishing the definitive border between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The final consequence of the European struggle for control in the Caribbean was the division of the island into two countries. Be not thou united. See? Something in that there. And with that, I'm going to say, all praise Yahweh, Shemiel Shah, double line, see positive GMS. Always better learn something. Shalom.